Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Career Talk with the O. Alright, so I'm starting a series called How to Start Your Career in the Right Way. Not just anyhow, but rather how to start your career in the right way. So many of us wished we had somebody put us through before we started our career. So many people wished a blueprint was given to us on how to go about your career. So many people wish there was a proper information, a guide, right? Guidance on how to start your career, especially in the right way. Also, before I move further, I want to emphasize on something, right? Not everybody is going to be an entrepreneur. So many of us are entrepreneurs. So many of us will do this 9 to 5 work. Now the world of work is even different. Now we have different mode of work, right? We have the hybrid, we have the remote, we have on-site. However, not everybody is going to be an entrepreneur. So many of us are entrepreneurs. Okay? Alright. So moving further, how do you start your career the right way? Before I also dive into that, I want to give a short story of my experience uh, when I was going into the corporate world. In my final year at the university, I was plagued with this thought of what to do after school. It was a constant thought. It was something that gave me goosebumps, or something that scared me a whole lot because I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no one to put me through. I had no one who was experienced enough to put me through. Like I didn't have anybody who was old enough in my corner, or better still, who could give me that information on how to go about my career. Right. So I went straight to God. That was my strategy. That was like my number one strategy. So he directed me. I remember always going to MFM with just one prayer point. Lord Jesus, after school, what next? Lord Jesus, after school, what next? So, and I'm glad to God that I was able to figure it out with the help of God. All right, so moving on, how do we start your career? How do you start your career as a recent graduate? How do you move into the corporate world as a recent graduate? So, first and foremost, you need to understand that your degree is the foundation. Your degree is the foundation. In my previous video, the school as scam video, I explained the concept of the school as scam. I'll explain why your degree is very important, right? Especially as a recent graduate, because at that moment in time, or at that point in time, you have no skill whatsoever to offer to your employer. Your employer is adding value to you as at that point in time. So your degree is what gives you the eligibility. Your degree is what makes you worthy, right, of that training as at that point in time. So to start your career, your professional journey or your career doesn't start the day you receive your offer letter. Your career started the very first day you step foot into the university. All through your university years, the decision you make, right, as to your result or as to your degree matters a lot in your career journey. Yes, that's it. So this is not to discourage you. This is not for you. Don't have to be free. So if you're still in school and you can still do better with your CV or with your degree, please go ahead and do that. And also, if maybe you're just for the recent graduate and you're not so sure about what your degree could get you, you don't need to be discouraged. So you can. There are a lot of skills you do to boost up your degree as a graduate. If you did not meet up to certain criteria, maybe you know, say first class, a second class, or maybe you're on the third class or you pass, right? You can still build up skills, right? That gives your degree a boost. All right. So as an HR professional, I have seen so many type of candidates. However, I'm narrowing this down to recent graduates. I've seen so many recent graduate resumes, and I am yet to let you know that there are two types of these people, these two types of recent graduates candidates. We have the ones who were surprised at they were just surprised. Like from their resume, you could tell that this person is yet to understand what work truly means. This person is yet to get out is not is yet to be ready for the corporate world. However, there's also some resumes that you makes you that I have seen, right? And I just know this person understand what it takes to be in the corporate world. This person is ready for the world of work. Okay, so your employability status as an individual is built upon three things. First is built upon your degree. Secondly, is built upon your skills. and third is built up on your exposure. So let's take degree. One, your degree gives you eligibility. You must have seen several job descriptions out there and their requirements. Whether we like it or not, those requirements are the requirements, right? So it might be unfair to some people when you see your job requirements like you must have a minimum of 2 words, you must have a minimum of first class, and the like. Those are the company's requirements. So job degree gives you that eligibility, right? So there's no job description that you see out there or organization that you go to out there that do not need your degree. Your degree is what paves that way for you first. It gives you the eligibility to now be considered for any other thing. Then the second is your skills, right? As a recent graduate, you need your skills. You need some basic skills. Those skills are what gives you capability, right? Because once you're coming up on the job, you need some basic things. There's some things that you need to know how to do. There's some things that your employer will not teach you. As much as they are adding value to you, as much as they are training you at that point in time, they are not going to teach you some basic skills. Skills like your communication skills, right? You see those GNS you're taking in school, GNS this, GNS 101, GNS 102, those information are very, very important because you need to build some basic communication skills. You need to know how to speak, how to express yourself orally and non oral, right, in the workplace. That is that. Another skill you need to build is how to write emails. As simple as this might be, so many people don't know how to write emails. So many people miss it. So you need to learn how to write emails. You need to know how to construct emails. Be ready to take feedbacks, constructive feedbacks, right? And also, so learn how to write emails. Check up online. Learn how to respond to emails. How to write back emails. So don't just leave your email at "Dear sir, this is well acknowledged." Revert back as soon as possible. As much as that is also okay, but there's also some other things you can add to that. "Oh, dear sir, your mail is well acknowledged. I will look up. I will look into this and give the right feedback as soon as I can." So that is that. Another skill you need to build is data representation skills. How do you represent your data, right? No individual or no line manager wants to take too much time going through so many information. We want to see your information in a graphical manner, tabular manner. So learn how to represent data. Also, you need to build up your Microsoft Excel skills. So it's very, very funny and a bit disappointing that so many individuals, be it junior level professionals, recent graduate, middle level professionals, right? You tend to undermine the you tend to undermine the importance of Microsoft Excel. If you're still in school, go get a skill, go learn something on with Microsoft Excel. Go to YouTube, go to Coursera, go to Udemy, go to Allison, pick Excel, learn Excel. It is very important. You need to learn Excel. You don't need to learn the advanced, learn basic Microsoft Excel. Build up your knowledge in Microsoft Office packages. Very, very, very important. So don't forget that your education or your career gives you eligibility, your skill gives you capability, and also we have exposure. Exposure gives you confidence. I've seen too many people walk into rooms without confidence, right? And that confidence and their love they've lost just because they do not know how to express themselves, they don't know how to defend whatever it is they have learned or whatever the things they have in the resume. So you need exposure. Before you go out there and start training out your resume, intern in organizations, volunteer, paid, unpaid, just do something. Your first few years as a recent graduate is for you to gather knowledge, not to gather money. So learn, take the opportunity and build that exposure. Your career is a strategy, right? So you need to position yourself well for your career. So thank you very much for staying with me. Thank you very much for staying for following me on this channel. So if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. You are yet to like my videos, like, and also you can put up a pop-up notification. So whenever I drop a video, you get notified. See you all in my next video. Bye.